Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Wow, look on the screen. Do you like what you see, people? And you just see basically a bucket of cash. Nice picture. So we're talking about earlier a situation where, and this is what I totally hate, man. I hate to see people who may not, I don't know everything they ever said I did, but I hate to see people who are kind of ignorant of things, and then time they see somebody because things are going bad for them, and this is quite the norm, they start to attack other people. Oh, they get so mad. You get some people who they're afraid someone, I call it, is going to get an extra biscuit. Oh man, that person shouldn't do that, shouldn't do that. And it blows my mind. This is very common with poor people. Oh, I'm one of you. Don't freak out. Think I'm trying to get bougie. But it's very common. And what I mean by not just poor financially, they don't know any better. Some people are down, and that happens. I was telling a friend of mine, a lot of people are hurting. So when people are hurting, they start to compare, and if someone's got a better deal, they may get upset. So if someone gets a little edge up, some people get into attack mode. And it's like you can go into attack mode, it's still not going to help your circumstance. You are still where you are. So here on the screen is a bucket of cash. And here's what I wanted to get to. When you have people like that, it's common because people are losing jobs, and it's just so much financial drama, emotional drama, turmoil going on. So when people see others, maybe it's not as bad for another person, then a lot of times they start to get real upset, you know, real mad, and they complain. So look on this screen here. We have a bucket of cash, could come in handy for a lot of people, okay, myself included. But when I say the system is rigged, I stand by that. And when I say that a lot of people don't get it. One of my friends, African American man, black man, says to me, and he's like, well, they don't understand systems. A lot of our people don't have the data. Something happened, we were talking, I'm like, It's time that, I'm like, so what are they doing? In my family, as we grew up, things happen, guess what? We had family meetings. We would have a family meeting, even if it's about a vacation where we're going this summer. My dad would say, "Oh yeah, after dinner we're gonna have a family meeting," and then sometimes it could be maybe one of us got into trouble. I knew it wasn't me, and you're like, "Ooh, who did something? Ooh, who did it?" We'd have a family meeting, so discuss things about the family, discuss about vacation, where we're going in the summer. Family meetings, old school. People are doing that now. So again, there are systems. So I thought about it. A lot of people are complaining. They're needing help. They can't get assistance. They're cutting back on welfare, and I don't mean now not corporate welfare. They're throwing money at Wall Street. Oh man, of course, influx of cash. You think at some companies in Wall Street, you got people here that need assistance, so they're cutting back on welfare, not corporate welfare, but like for welfare for like people who need a place to live, vouchers and food. Cutting back on that, they're trimming it. And the sad thing is, you have people who are wealthy put all their money, like this bucket, into a trust, irrevocable trust. Put all their assets in a trust, and then they access government benefits, and that's happening every day. And I look at some people, they want to go into attack mode because they need to go ahead and get on a program for what, um, food subsidies, a voucher, so somebody else may have it, and they go into attack mode. That person right on the same level or broken than you are not far from it. Meanwhile, in between time, you got people that have irrevocable trust. Man, they'll have millions of dollars in an irrevocable trust, all in that bucket, not counted as income, getting food stamps, all kind of medical benefits, and those assets are being protected so they can pass them down to their children. Meantime, in between time, the one who got the assets, again, there are systems in place. Oh, well, I don't control it. Let's talk about that. What systems do we have in place? So here it says, let's see, you want to just check it out for yourself. I Googled how rich people, which I already knew, how rich people hide assets in irrevocable trust and get government assistance. So here it says, irrevocable trust can help people access government benefits while protecting their assets. The grantor, the person who owns it, transfers ownership of their assets to the trust, removing their rights of ownership. Rich people do this all the time. The beneficiary has less control over the trust, so the trust funds are not considered their assets and income. This allows people to qualify for government benefits like Medicaid without using their own assets. How many in the BC understand this? People have wealth put into a trust, then set up. Oh, for the elderly, they're not gonna let that elderly care run through that trust. No, no, no. Systems in place, planning. Let's continue. And I'll try and make this quick. Here it says, yes, I just checked. Can a person receive food stamps and have a trust? It says, yes, a person can receive food stamps and have an irrevocable living trust if the funds in the trust are inaccessible to the household. Funds in a trust include income from the trust, are considered unavailable if the following conditions apply. The funds are inaccessible to the household and the trust is irrevocable. And in most cases, the trust, of course, is somebody that they know. So let's not kid yourselves. If that person needs something, you don't think the trustee, the person that's over, is going to go ahead and get it for them? You don't think? Systems in place, wealth protection. We got to try to even get to, let's see, we're still, for the majority, from what I can see, we got to try to still inculcate and understand the concept of family, about building, before we even get to this part right here. People put houses, money, assets, all into these trusts, and then to sit up here with their elderly. They're not going to sit up here and go, oh no, that's going to eat up everything. No. What's the saying? Protect the quarterback? What's the saying? Protect the money, long live the money. You can't long live the money if it keeps on going out. What is it again? Systems in place. So when you have poor people that really, really, really need, you have people that have assets, they put them into a trust. Then they'll sit up. Can I get my food stamps? Grandma needs some Medicaid. Oh, don't have anything. Can I go ahead and try to get some assistance with my living expenses? Get a voucher? Stuff like this here going on all the time. Who do you think is mainly doing that? We know it's not the BC. That's for darn sure. Because if it was the BC, then they'd probably change it. Being facetious, that was a joke. But who do you think is mainly doing this? Systems in place. Systems in place. A system in poverty will not benefit anyone. Long live the money. This is a good way to show you how to long live the money. We can't even get the concept of family down. We can't even get the concept of life insurance down. We got families sitting up here with a piece of house or something and won't even do a will, afraid somebody that look like them gonna have something, afraid that their daughter's gonna have something. Like the video I did on Patreon about all that life insurance, all that drama. The craziest thing, one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. So how are we gonna get to this point? This is a way for them to go ahead, in my opinion, I just see it as leech off the system. But the assets are moved where all into a bucket where for protection. So the person that put the assets into the bucket, they then say, hey, I don't control, that right there, I don't own it. Not part of my income. Systems in place. And then they'll get to go ahead and live off the government. It is welfare. Whenever you have to see about the government to feed you and house you, it's welfare. They'll go ahead and do that. And then guess what happens? They'll then pass down that bucket of cash to their children. Long live the money. Systems in place. What kind of system do we have in place? We're still going into shops, businesses, talking about how they mistreat us and still going in there making them rich. Systems in place. That's a very backwards, nonsensical system. Systems in place. Assets and money put into a trust, irrevocable trust. And then that person goes and gets on what they call the county dole, gets on the little welfare system. Systems in place. So we can't get the basics down. We can't get this down and wonder why some people who understand systems are winning. Why do you think some are winning? So you saw it. They can get government benefits like Medicaid without using their own assets. Systems in place. And we got people that's really poor and starving, really need they don't have a trust. Well, they're cutting those benefits out. Who do you think is mainly using that? Systems in place, yes, they can receive food stamps and have an irrevocable living trust. They can say, so, oh no, that's not my, I don't have access to that money. That money is in irrevocable trust. I don't have access to it. You don't think the son or daughter does? And then when that person expires, gee, who's going to get the assets from that trust? Again, systems in place. So my question is for my community, what system do we have in place? Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out.